Welcome to Rob and Tony's Cinematic Adventure. I'm Rob Wilson.
And I am Tony the Quano.
So, Tony, it's been a while since we have talked about an MCU movie.
It has been a while. It's
For
been,
those-
maybe 2 years?
Has it been that long? Wow.
Because I thought it was Iron Man, right?
Yeah, it was Iron Man. And yeah, for those uninitiated, MCU stands for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And when we talked about Iron Man, it wasn't even formally, when Iron Man itself was released, it wasn't even formally the MCU. It was just Iron Man.
It was just Iron Man. It was their testing ground for the MCU.
It was.
So,
but, it has been a few years. And, if we're trying to talk about summer blockbusters in the last, 15, 16 years,
then yeah,
it's hard not to talk about an MCU movie.
Yes.
Because they littered the summer landscape for a good decade.
For, a long time.
For a while there, it was largely what the summer was MCU movies and other franchises like the Fast and the Furious movies, the, Hunger Games and so forth.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way,
but it's hard to escape a summer without an MCU movie.
By the way, technically the last MCU movie that we talked about was Deadpool and Wolverine.
I'll say Deadpool and Wolverine. Yes, thank you.
But still, that was a while ago.
That was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, like a year and a half ago. So, yeah.
So, one was in May, one was in November when we talked about them. So,
yep.
But yeah, I think it's time to do it again.
Let's talk about another one. And rather than spoil every MCU movie, while talking about a particular MCU movie, we're going to go back to the beginning of the MCU.
Yes.
So that we don't have the ability to spoil the rest of them.
Because there are bigger blockbuster hits than this particular one.
Mm-hmm.
But, we don't want to spoil the other ones. I think it's better that we go closer to the chronology of them.
Yes. So, sorry if you're looking for us to talk about Avengers Endgame.
Yes.
We may eventually get to that one, but it's not going to be for a little while.
We'll see. Not for a while.
So,
yeah. There'll be a lot to fill in to do that.
Yeah.
We can go to one that stands alone by itself better than the later ones.
Yep.
Where you don't need as much background information to get into it.
Exactly. And so the best place to start for that is back in phase 1 when
that's correct.
All of the movies were pretty much standalone movies.
Yes.
I mean, except Iron Man 2, because you kind of had
to
to
for
have
Iron
seen
Man 2 was in phase 1.
But,
yes. Yeah. But even then, you need the Iron Man 1, but you don't need the entire complicated history of the MCU to know it.
No. And though they are standalone, more or less, movies in phase 1, they still are connected. They're connected. Things that are interwoven between them. But,
and they are building towards something. They're introducing characters that will be part of something larger.
Mm-hmm.
Not then there's the whole end credits, obviously.
Yeah.
But we can get to that.
Yeah. But anyway, that early MCU movie that we're talking about is going to be the third MCU movie to ever be released. No, I guess fourth MCU movie to ever be released, because the third one was a sequel to...
The third one was Iron Man 2.
Yes, the third one was Iron Man 2. So we're going to be talking about the fourth one, which was Thor.
2011. It feels weird. It feels like it's an older movie than 2011. But then you think about it, that's still 15 years old at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it feels like it was released... It feels like it should not be in the 2010s and the 20-teens. Feels like it should be an older movie than that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. It's from 2011.
Yeah.
Kenneth Branagh directed.
I know. That was a shock when they announced that.
Yes.
Because Kenneth Branagh is known for, the Shakespearean type,
yes. Henry the
stage to screen type movies.
Hamlet.
Yeah.
Right. But he brings his Shakespearean prowess to this. And in many ways, it's appropriate. You got high kind of court intrigue of this king of Asgard and his sons, right? Yeah. And their rivalry between each other. And so he actually fits well within kind of the story.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
So, and I think he did well. It's his only MCU movie.
Mm-hmm. No,
right?
I think he did a great job.
But I thought he did a great job. I think, especially because it's a movie that definitely has that studio sheen to it. You could tell they are building this larger universe tent.
Yeah.
And so he has to kind of play within certain parameters. So he doesn't have total freedom.
No,
right?
but he did. Hey, I'm sure he did have more freedom than the directors do
Than
now.
later directors. Yes. Right. And that's the thing. I mean,
because
once
it
he
was
kind of,
still in its
especially
infancy then.
Post, not even post Endgame, even before that, like everything was kind of structured in this tentpole to lead towards Age of Ultron, to lead towards Infinity War and Endgame, right?
Mm-hmm.
And after that, it gets more muddled, and we don't need to get into that tonight. But yes, there's that, the freedom was really at this point just to build to them really assembling towards the first Avengers movie.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, because even then they didn't know if it was going to go past that.
Yeah, they didn't. So, and this was in some ways maybe a more of an on-sure thing, right? Iron, we talked about this in the first Iron Man when we covered that one a couple years ago, but it still had Robert Downey Jr. in it, who was just starting to kind of make a comeback.
Yep.
And Iron Man's he's not an A-list hero, but he's kind of that next tier down. And it had Jon Favreau, and Iron Man's an easy enough superhero to kind of put a movie behind and see what will happen, right? And you gotta remember, this is the same time that Batman, Nolan Batmans were successful, right? The X-Men X-Men series was successful.
Yep.
The Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies had been successful. So why not try Iron Man and see what happens from there?
Yeah.
Right?
Especially
and the
since
first Iron Man was successful.
Yeah. Especially since Marvel had sold all of its top tier characters by that point.
Yeah.
So they were stuck with their B-list ones.
Yeah.
And back before the Iron Man movie came out, Iron Man was not a big name in comics.
Nope. And then they went
Thor.
Same with Thor, right? Because after Iron Man, they had Hulk, right? And Hulk's a different character, right? We have the classic, Incredible Hulk series, which kind of has kept him within the pop culture kind of mindset.
Yeah.
But the Hulk of the comics is not as well known, right? So, and then we had the Ang Lee Hulk several years before that, the Incredible Hulk movie, which
well, that was just Hulk.
It was just Hulk.
But
that was met with mixed reviews and mixed reactions.
But I always enjoyed it. I always thought it was an underrated movie.
But then the Incredible Hulk, that came after Iron Man. Again, that was met with mixed kind of reactions too. Right? And then they had the post-credit sequence of that kind of teased doing more, right? But you still didn't know. And Iron Man 2 really only happened because the first Iron Man movie was so successful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so now, all of a sudden, they're going to do Thor, which was teased at the end of Iron Man 2 in the post-credit sequence. But again, Thor, he is a major part of the Marvel comics. But again, he's not a Spider-Man. No. He's not Wolverine.
The majority of Thor's movie, his appearance in movies he was, I believe, in the made-for-TV movie Trial of the Incredible Hulk.
Yes.
In the 70s. And then he was heavily referenced in Adventures in Babysitting, where Vincent D'Onofrio played the guy that the little sister thought was Thor.
Okay. Right. And so, and I know they've been, certain writers and producers thought, throughout, the 80s and 90s, should we do a Thor movie? Right? But it never really got off the ground until they started thinking about doing this MCU.
Yeah.
And this is really the movie that, in some ways, became the test
Yeah,
to see, could this really work?
because this was the first one that wasn't Iron Man.
Yeah.
Because
And, this is this goes in the cosmos also. Like, how do you ground this? How do you make this interesting? And, and I mean, and it's funny, like, they went ahead and basically cast an unknown Australian actor
yeah, I mean
to play
his major film
B-level
credit before
hero.
this was he played Kirk's dad in the Star Trek remake,
Star Trek,
the reboot.
Yes, and he gets killed off in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, other than because we had Iron Man and we had Hulk, Incredible Hulk, which, like we said, Incredible Hulk is a more established character than the others, but so it was kind of a safe bet on that one.
Yes.
But then Iron Man 2, so this is the first movie that wasn't the first of the true like B level characters that wasn't Iron Man.
Yes. And it did well. It was 10th at the box office in 2011. Right? It ended up doing really well because it was marketed well. And again, like, they took a chance on Chris Hemsworth, and he really took the role and made it his own.
He embodied Thor.
Yeah. And, it's really a great little cast overall, right?
Yeah.
They're probably the two most popular people in this movie were Natalie Portman and Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
And I love Anthony Hopkins in this movie.
Me too. He is brilliant.
He is perfect for what Kenneth Branagh wanted to do with this. He brings all his Shakespearean bravado and lays it on.
So much gravitas to this role. It is, he is amazing in this role.
It's also got Renee Russo, behind the actress who hadn't really been in a whole lot for a while prior to this this role. And it's funny, like, after this, she mostly had this role in this whole series, and then like Nightcrawler a few years later with Jake Gyllenhaal. But yeah, Natalie Portman, who for me, she's fine in this role. I think for me it's odd in some ways because, like, Chris Hemsworth is such an unknown.
Yeah, I mean,
she's almost too recognizable.
Yeah, I mean, she plays
in the
a
role
character.
As Natalie Portman.
She plays she plays the character well, but she plays a character that several other people could have played.
Yes, she's a good actress.
Yeah,
this is right after she won the Oscar for Black Swan.
Yeah,
which I think was a better role for her. I think they could have gone with someone a little bit else, a little bit more less known than her for the role.
Yeah,
at least for this movie. That's but again, it's a kind of a small.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with her in the role. She does a great job. She's Natalie Portman. She's a good actress. She's she does well with the role. But yeah, I could see.
Especially when you have someone she doesn't actually share screen time with is Tom Hiddleston, and he was also basically an unknown actor at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first thing I ever saw him in.
Amazing in this.
Yeah, yeah, he stole.
Like,
the
it's
show.
funny, like like him. It's you're thinking about MCU villains, like, not to spoil it too much, but he does play Loki. I mean, if you know that, the Marvel comics, Loki is a villain.
Yeah.
But he's so complicated in this, and it's because Hiddleston's so perfect in this role.
He's so convincing.
And the funny thing, for a while there, before Thanos, like, people say, like, oh yeah, he's the best Marvel villain. Even though I think time has been kind to Jeff Bridges' role in the first Iron
with Obadiah Stane
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's also Jeff Bridges, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's Jeff Bridges, exactly. But Idris Elba is also in this movie,
Mm-hmm.
and he is fantastic in his role.
Mm-hmm.
This movie also kind of put Kat Dennings on the map for me, for better or for worse.
Yeah. I mean, before this, the main thing that I had seen her in was 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yes.
Where she sounded like a tea kettle.
Yeah. She sounds like a tea kettle. I like, she was really good. She was perfect for 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, she was.
I actually kind of like her in this. This is not a bad role for her.
No, it's not.
I don't like her character kind of as it progresses in the whole series, but she's fine here. I did not like Two Broke Girls.
I didn't either.
But that has nothing to do with her role in this movie.
It has nothing to do with this movie. But
the other person that's in that, I mean, he is just always brilliant, is Stellan Skarsgård.
Yes, Stellan Skarsgård was perfectly cast for this movie.
And, yeah,
I mean, all the Skarsgårds are just great. It's just
it's the Peter Sarsgaard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I think particularly the four standouts, I guess, is Skarsgård, Hopkins, Hiddleston, and Hemsworth. Just all really, their acting just helps elevate the movie.
Yeah.
On Kenneth Branagh's direction, because the movie itself is more or less, the plot's more or less by the numbers, pretty standard stuff.
Yeah. But they elevate it. They elevate this movie so much. Like, every time I watch this movie, I forget how good it is.
Yes, I agree with you.
It's like, I've seen it a ton of times, but every time I watch it, I find myself thinking, this movie is a lot better than I remembered it being.
And for me, I mean, it's actually been a while since I've seen it. And that was exactly the thought I had. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot, like, this is actually, like, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is held up.
Yeah. Like, I would put this movie up in the upper echelons of MCU movies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like in the top probably 5, but I'd put it up there.
There's something refreshing about the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
Before everything kind of gets interwoven and convoluted and complicated. But yeah, this is good. I mean, it's a solid movie, and it's a really, really enjoyable movie.
Yeah, it is.
Now, I know that we'll hit some of the other characters and actors that are important within the film, or the movie, and also like later in the series, without spoiling too much their roles later in the series.
Yeah. But then, I mean, we've also got, in the supporting cast, we've got Ray Stevenson. He's just great. We've got Jamie Alexander, who she was another one of those somewhat unknown, but she'd done a bunch of TV stuff.
Yes.
And so, I mean, her name was out there, but not necessarily, a huge name. So
we have Josh Dallas in this,
who
that role was almost Zachary Levi's.
Yeah. I think it was originally supposed to be Zachary Levi, but
yes,
he had to cancel, or
he had to
turn it down or something.
Scheduling conflict.
Yeah.
And then it was going to be Stuart Townsend. But he had creative differences, I think, and then it became Josh Dallas.
Yeah. And of course, in the Thor sequels, then it is Zachary Levi.
It is,
yes. That role.
Yes. Kind of one of those under the radar casting switches.
Yeah.
We have the person responsible for taking the Nicolas Cage's faces off.
Yes, we do.
Colin Fiore's in this movie.
Yes, he is.
I kept expecting John Travolta to show up.
Yeah.
As really John Travolta as, Castor Troy. Yeah. Not John Travolta. Actually, no. It's Castor Troy wearing John Travolta's face.
Yeah.
asking him, why did you take my face? Oh,
So why didn't Loki go to him and be like, hey, I want you to take his face off?
you would think he's given his powers of cryogenics and freezing. You think he might actually be able to pull that off?
He might be able to. He might be able to.
Clark Gregg is in this movie, right? This is probably one of the first times where he's actually substantially in the movie.
Yeah, he's one of those recurring characters throughout the early stages of the MCU.
But I think this is probably the most screen time he had so far.
Yeah,
in the series,
he was in a few scenes in Iron Man, and we talked about him back then. But
he gets a good 3 or 4 scenes in this movie, and he's part of a major kind of set sequence.
Yeah,
two set sequences to be honest. So we got Joseph Gatz, Maximiliano Hernandez, who becomes kind of he was going to show up a little bit later.
Yeah, he's another one of those ones that is recurring throughout the MCU.
Isaac Cappy is in this, and I think we'll save a couple of the others, at least one of them, for later.
Yeah.
So, Stan Lee makes his usual cameo appearance. We'll get to where that is later.
Yep.
When that happens. And there's and then Tadanobu Asano.
Yes.
Also.
Yeah, Tadanobu Asano.
If we're going to be talking about the Warriors 3, we cannot forget him.
Yes, we cannot. He is one of the Warriors 3 that runs around with Lady Sif.
That's right. Lady Sif and the Warriors 3. That sounds like a cool band.
It does. It really does.
But yeah, it's the movie that, not like we said, in a lot of ways, this is the movie that proved that they can make the MCU actually maybe work. And it's funny looking back at it now because, this almost like this innocent time before he had really a 5-year stretch of just being bombarded with MCU movies.
Yeah,
that was adding on to each other towards 4 movies, right? The Avengers, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, and then Endgame.
Yeah.
And really the who's who of Hollywood for the next 5 years, just landing different roles within the MCU.
Yep. But yeah, this is still back in the early days when they were getting unknowns.
Exactly.
When they were making them known.
Yeah. And it's funny. Then you probably had someone like Anthony Hopkins, okay, yeah, I'll do that. I haven't done a big Hollywood movie in a while.
Yep.
Okay. He wasn't thinking of I get to be in an MCU movie.
No.
Later on, Michael Douglas probably thought, I get to do MCU. Michelle Pfeiffer, I get to do MCU.
But no, Anthony
Hopkins, Renee Russo,
they probably did it because Kenneth Branagh was directing.
Yes. That's probably true. So,
but evidently, from what I remember hearing about back when this movie first came out, Kenneth Branagh, all his life, has been a huge fan of Thor.
I can see why. And it comes out on the screen.
Yeah. So I guess he jumped at the chance to direct this one.
Yeah, that makes sense. I see it. But yeah, I don't know if I have much else to say before we jump into this.
Me neither. So let's get into it. Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about this entire movie, beginning, middle, and end. So if you have not seen it, you don't want to be spoiled, pause the podcast, watch the movie, and come back and listen. If you have seen it or you just don't mind being spoiled, keep on listening. But we are going to be spoiling this movie, and we will try our very best not to spoil other movies from the MCU while we talk about this one. At least other movies that we haven't talked about already. So, I mean, we'll probably be mentioning Iron Man once or twice, but we've talked about that movie already. So,
yeah. So, and you can go back and listen to that, or go back and watch Iron Man.
mm-hmm.
It's up to you.
Yeah. So, we start out with, let's see, how many centuries ago was it?
Don't go back.
Actually, no, we don't. I guess first we start out in the desert with.
That's right. No, you're right. It does start.
It doesn't flash back yet.
It's like it's yes.
But yeah, we start out
in the desert.
In the desert.
And it's like at night.
Mm-hmm. At night,
and we're like a little RV that's out in the desert. It's like a research. It's an RV, but it's clearly equipped to do research.
Yes, and there's lights in the sky behind the clouds, and we get Stellan Skarsgård, Natalie Portman, and Kat Dennings, and they're exciting. They're excited that there's this. I mean, they believe it to be like an aurora borealis kind of thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seems like a solar type of storm. Mm-hmm. It's definitely not the aurora.
No,
because otherwise Dennis Quaid and Jim Caviezel would be there.
Yes, they would. Not at the same time, though.
No,
they would be there in different times.
Yes, 30 years apart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, so they're all excited, and they're racing their RV toward it, and all of a sudden, this man falls from the sky right into the front of the RV.
Yeah. And at first, they're kind of blinded by, as he falls, like he just, the light from the storm just gets bigger and kind of creates a little bit of a sandstorm where, they land right in front, but they kind of lose control of the RV.
And they hit him. And after they hit him, then it flashes back to like 1,500 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, it's about 15. It's a little bit, kind of
I guess
the early like Dark Ages, right? It's like maybe 800, 900, and it's in like Scandinavia.
Yeah, it's in Tonsberg, Norway.
And we get Anthony Hopkins narration.
Yes.
So now we're going to get serious with Anthony Hopkins is narrating.
When Anthony Hopkins starts narrating your movie, it's this shit just got real.
And now all of a sudden, Martin Lawrence is in Norway in the 800s. And
yeah,
you're like, what?
Moving in slow motion as a helicopter flies over him. And Will Smith's there too. But no, so
965 AD.
Okay, 965 AD in Tonsberg, Norway. And you have these giant ice giants coming in and terrorizing the village.
Right. And and the gist of what Anthony Hopkins is saying is that, before modern times, they did the people did not see these stories of giants and gods and all these as being mythical. They saw them as being real.
Yeah.
Right. And so then he has these. He talks about these things called the ice giants, and we see them attacking this village again. And it's Norway, and this it's set at night, and you have these giant ice creatures, right? Ice giants, right, attacking this village.
And they're freezing people,
destroying it. They're freezing people.
And then this beam comes out of the sky. This rainbow-colored beam. And when it disappears, you have Anthony Hopkins with an army. And the voiceover goes to say, Odin came to fight the ice giants, and we see this battle go on between these Asgardians and the ice giants.
The way Hopkins puts it, right, is that mankind accepted the simple truth that they were not alone in the universe. Some worlds they believe to be home to their gods,
Mm-hmm.
and they knew to fear the others. That's the gist of how he starts it, right? And obviously, these ice giants are the ones that they fear.
Yeah.
But now their gods have coming to save them.
Yes, their gods are coming to save them. And so we see little snippets of this battle going around, and eventually Odin, Anthony Hopkins, has the ice giant leader at his mercy. And Odin is now missing an eye from this battle.
Like, you took my eye.
His right eye is missing. He had it
Out.
when he came out. Yes. But he had his eye when
he had the eye in the beginning
down.
of this. Yes.
But he did not have his eye at the end.
Sans an eye.
So that just goes to show how difficult these ice giants were to defeat. If they were able to take Odin's eye out.
You will bring me Nicolas Cage's eye.
But anyway, so they defeated the frost giants.
Yes. Yeah, they helped bring peace to the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then we switch from this narration and we see that he's not speaking to us, the audience. He's speaking to his sons.
Yes, he's speaking to his sons.
These 2 young boys, about 8, 10 years old.
One's blonde, one's brunette.
And he says, like, one day, one of you will have to defend the peace.
Mm-hmm. One day, one of you will be king.
And then the brunette's like, oh, do the ice giants still live? Or the frost giants still live? And then the blonde's like, when I'm king, I'll hunt them down and slay them all. Just like you, father.
Yeah.
But then father, this is now we can say it easily. Is Odin. Anthony Hopkins plays Odin. It's like a wise king does not seek out war, but he must be ready for it. And they're both like, the boys like, yeah, we're ready, father. You know, like they're 8. They're not ready for war. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then comes the clincher of the line, though, right? One of you, only one will ascend to the throne. Both were born to be kings.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but then, you know, we kind of cut to years later. These boys are growing up.
Yep, and
the blonde has grown up to become Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. With long hair. And the brunette has grown up to be Tom Hiddleston with long hair. And
one really likes red, the other really likes green.
Yeah. And Chris Hemsworth is riding into the city on a chariot, victorious in battle. And he is going to his coronation.
Yes.
He's going to be crowned King of Asgard.
He become King of Asgard. His dad's not dead, but his dad's going to abdicate the throne.
No, but his dad
realizes peace has been achieved.
Pass on the crown to his son.
I am going to pass the crown to my son. I am going to live my retirement nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't need to wear that. Heavy wears the crown.
Yeah. Yeah. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. And so as he's getting ready, he's going to say the words to pass the crown on to his son, Thor.
We cut to another room in the kingdom here of Asgard.
Yes.
And it's this heavily guarded room. We can see like there's these guards and like...
It's basically like a trophy room kind of thing.
It's like a trophy room, yes. But there's this one particular trophy that we saw earlier when they defeated the ice giants.
That Odin had taken
giants.
From the frost giants back in the day. It's this box. They call it the casket. It's basically it allows... It fires a frost beam out and it freezes stuff.
Yeah.
Essentially. But it is basically where the frost giants where their main power lies.
And now it's in safekeeping in Asgard.
Yeah.
Or so we think.
Because we have these guards that are guarding this room. And all of a sudden, they start to freeze. And then we get a couple of frost giants that come in.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger comes in behind them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris rises from the ice with an M60.
If only.
Yes.
No. Odin senses something is wrong right before he's able to put the crown on the Thor's head. And he's like, the frost giants.
Yep. And so the coronation ends right there before Thor is crowned.
And we cut back into this trophy room, this lair, right? And behind where they kind of holding the things is like this almost kind of like a giant kind of chain link checkerboard type of, like, fence, wall. Not should say fence, but wall.
So, I mean, it sort of, the sections of it sort of start disappearing, and this giant robot looking thing comes walking out.
He's called it, well, I should say he. Yeah. It's called the Destroyer.
The Destroyer.
They don't call it the Destroyer yet, but it's the Destroyer.
It's known as the Destroyer. But it's this giant, humanoid robot
that the king can control.
Yeah. And so its face opens up. It takes its face off. And it fires a blast of fire at these frost giants and kills them.
They did. Right? And then it just kind of retreats and it kind of like melds back into that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it's almost like there's a giant, almost like there's this beam of light kind of coming behind the wall. And it goes back in. And now we see, we get Loki, we get Thor and Odin. They're back there and they're,
and Thor's upset. He is pissed.
He's upset. He's pissed
that these frost giants somehow snuck into the city.
Befuddled about what happened. He wants to be calm and reasonable about how to figure out how they got in.
Yeah.
Right? And Loki's just kind of being quiet about all of it while Thor's having a temper tantrum about this. Like, this will not stand. This aggression will not stand.
This aggression will not stand. If you want a toe, I'll get you a fucking toe. With nail polish.
I demanded too excited trampoline guy at my coordination, and he was not here. But yeah, he's like, no, like they will pay for this. The Frost Giants will pay for messing up my party.
Yeah. It's my party.
I'll cry if I want.
So he is determined to he tells his father that they need to go to Jotunheim, which is the realm where the frost giants are from, and they need to wipe them all out because they broke the truce.
Right. And it should be important to note too, like one of the things that Odin asked Thor before he crowns him and before this happens, like, do you promise to cast aside all your selfish ambitions?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, he's obviously not casting aside the selfish ambitions.
He said he does. He said, I do.
I do.
But obviously, he doesn't. And Odin keeps on telling him, no, we're going to let this slide. We're not going to go attack them. I'll meet with Laufey, the frost giant, the king of the frost giants, and we'll
find the breach of defenses. We'll seal that. I'll seal this over. I will smooth this over the frost giants. And this is not good enough for Thor, right? Mm-hmm. We see him now, and he is just having a conversation with Loki.
Yeah.
And, also the Warriors 3 are there, right?
Yes.
So. And Loki actually, you can tell Loki does a good job here, right? He's like, no, I know, I agree with you, brother, right? But Loki seems less the emotional sort, at least outwardly.
Yeah.
At not all the time, as we'll discover later, but right now, he seems to be the more stoic of the two.
He seems to be the cooler head.
Yes. He's just saying, like, but you can't do anything without defying father, right? Thor's like, well, that's the only way to ensure the safety of our borders. Loki's like, Thor, it's madness. And then that's when the Warriors 3 come in. Like, what's madness? Thor's like,
we love madness.
We're going to Jotunheim. And they're like, let's go.
Yeah. So Volstagg
it's like, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah, she's trying to be the voice of reason.
She's the woman. She's going to try to be reasonable.
Mm-hmm. She's trying to be the voice of reason. Meanwhile, Volstagg is like really excited about going. He reminds me of Gimli.
Yes.
Volstagg, Ray Stevenson, has always reminded me of Gimli.
Certainty of death? What are we waiting for? Let's do it. And so they don't need that. The Warrior 3 do not need.
They don't need convincing. They don't need convincing. They're Thor's best friends, right? They are his battle companions. They follow his every will.
Mm-hmm.
They are proud to fight by his side.
Oh, they are proud. There is no doubt about that. And so they're going to go. So
they're going to go. So they go to,
of course,
they walk down the Rainbow Bridge.
The Rainbow Bridge, right? Which is, again, it's not like they can take the subway to get there.
No.
Or take an airplane to get there.
No, they've got
There's only certain ways to travel.
Yes, they've got to go to the Bifrost, which it is that beam that took Odin to Tonsberg at the beginning. It's also called the Rainbow Bridge, which is basically an extension of the Rainbow Bridge from Asgard to the Bifrost.
If this beam can bring people between worlds, like, this seems like a pretty important thing, right? So it seems like, you would want someone guarding this, right? Yes.
And who better to guard it?
They thought about this.
Who better to guard it than Idris Elba? Heimdall.
I mean, I would pick Idris Elba.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Idris Elba in this movie, Heimdall is a character that he can see everything.
Yes.
Like everything in all 9 realms.
All 9 realms. He could see Robin Williams thinking about taking the poop.
He can see Robin Williams daydreaming about pooping in somebody else's toilet.
Yes.
Which I know we've mentioned that movie a lot, and we will talk about it someday.
He always has an eye on Too Excited Trampoline Guy.
Mm-hmm. He always has an eye on Too Excited Trampoline Guy.
Because one day he might get too excited.
He might.
Even for Too Excited Trampoline Guy, he might get too excited.
I mean, one day he might get too excited and there's not a trampoline around. But
he stops him right away and he's like, "You're not dressed warmly enough."
Yeah. Because he mentions that, these frost giants snuck past his gaze. That doesn't happen.
No.
Because he sees everything.
He sees everything. He's proud of what he does. Yeah. He takes pride in his work. He's not like boastful or arrogant about it. But he wants to know how he failed because he takes this job seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Because he swore an oath to Odin.
Yeah.
To protect that realm.
Yeah.
To protect the Bifrost.
Yeah. And he's got this big sword. He's got this big sword that he always leans on. He always stands it up in front of him, like the Oscar statue.
Yes, like the Oscar statue. And Loki thinks he can just sweet talk him,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't really listen to Loki.
I know.
Thor just comes up and pushes Loki aside and says, "You want to find out how they got by you?"
We're going to go take him out.
It's like, okay.
And Heimdall's like, all right, go right ahead.
And he seems like looks at Loki's like, so much for that silver tongue of yours.
Meanwhile,
Which already you're thinking like, okay, is Loki begins to make you think, what's Loki's motives?
Yeah.
They start playing that scene.
So he lets them into the Bifrost, and he activates it, and sends them to Jotunheim.
Yep, and they get there, and it's a cold, barren wasteland. That's like the deep midnight blue, icy frost.
Yeah,
not a fun place.
Now, real quick, so we've got Thor, Loki, Lady Sif, and the Warriors 3.
Yes.
So we've already talked about Thor and Loki quite a bit. Thor, he's armed with a hammer.
Yes.
He armed with an indestructible hammer. It's made of uru. It was forged in the heart of a dying star. And this is his signature weapon. His name is Mjolnir. Lady Sif is like a Xena type warrior woman.
She is.
Right?
Yes.
She's got armor and whatnot, and she's just this warrior. Volstagg is, like we said earlier, he reminds us of Gimli, because he's kind of dwarf-like. He's got this big long beard. He's got an axe. He has a very dwarf-like
He enjoys a
fighting
drinking
style.
challenge. Salted pork.
Mm-hmm. Fandral, Josh Dallas, is more of like a swashbuckler type.
He's swashbuckler, Robin Hood type.
Mm-hmm. And then you've got Hogun, who is Tadanobu Asano. He's more of a samurai type. Samurai archer type.
Mm-hmm.
So
lovely
that's
collection of people.
Yes. So they go and storm the gates, basically. They walk up and they are met by Laufey.
And he gives them the choice, like, hey, you're really violating this right here.
Yeah, he's like, you are violating the truce.
I'm gonna let you just go home now, right? And Thor's like, I just want to know, how did your people get into Asgard? Right? And Laufey's is like, well, the house of Odin is full of traitors. And it cuts to Loki's face.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that means anything.
Not saying it means anything. Loki's a perfect little angel.
Yeah. He's a delightful son.
Yeah.
He would not do anything.
He has no nefarious, thoughts in his head. I mean, he may be the god of mischief, but he's not mischievous.
And Thor's like, don't dishonor my father's name. And Laufey's like, hey, your father is a murderer and a thief. And all of a sudden, he just turns into Gollum.
We want it. Filthy, stinking hobbitses.
But, Laufey's a smart guy.
Yeah.
He's like, why did he come here? He didn't come out to make peace. Like, no, he came for battle. You long for it. You're craving it. But you're just a boy. Trying to prove yourself a man.
So,
right?
Thor and Loki and Lady Sif and the Warriors 3 turn around and
because they're going to turn around like,
back.
What? They're going to walk back.
Fine.
They're going to be. Loki tries to cool things down with it, and again, Laufey's like, he says like, yeah, I'll give you a chance to turn around now. Like nothing ever happened.
Yeah,
but Laufey knows that he's a hothead.
Yep. So he says one more thing. He calls Thor
a little
princess.
And Loki's like, damn.
I love that look on Loki's face.
Like, now, again, Not saying anything about Loki or what we discover later, but definitely don't think Loki expected this to be said.
No. And so Thor hears that and he stops.
And he's got his hammer.
And he turns around. And he attacks.
And now it's a big fight.
Mm-hmm. There's this big battle going on. All of the Frost Giants are coming out, and they're fighting these 5 people.
Yes.
Or 6 people. They're fighting these 6 people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Lady Sif and the Warriors 3 plus Thor and Loki. Yeah. And so, and they're doing well, and
they're holding their own.
They're holding their own, and we get to see some of Loki's powers, right? So he is, not just kind of the Lord of Mischief, but he can kind of project
magic.
Himself.
Yeah, he can sort of copy himself and send projections.
And so
of himself
he's able
around.
to fool some of these Frost Giants, and then he attacks them, kills them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But they all end up getting kind of pushed to the edge of this cliff, and there's this giant ice creature, almost like a massive like wolf dog type of ice creature, right? More than like a giant like polar bear type creature. And it kind of climbs up the face of this cliff and looks like it's about to attack him. But again, Thor has his hammer, which has special properties, which he can spin this thing at incredible speeds, and he will fly with this thing.
So basically, he spins it like a propeller, and then he throws it.
He launches himself.
He throws it and holds onto it and just lets it carry him.
Yep. And this thing is like roaring at them, and he just goes through the open mouth of this thing and out the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And it drops dead.
Yep.
And he comes back. But the Frost Giants are still approaching. And now they're kind of cornered. But then that beam of light shows up again.
Bifrost comes in. And we have... I love this touch. Because you have Odin on a horse. But it's not just any horse. This horse has 8 legs.
Yeah.
Because in Norse mythology, Odin rides a horse with 8 legs. And so Odin shows up and he's not
even
happy.
Now he's not happy, but he is still looking to solve this diplomatically.
Mm-hmm. Yes. He's not looking to come in and just tear up everybody.
Nope.
He's wanting to solve it diplomatically.
And Thor's thinking he's thinking that his father's there to fight with him. He's like, Father, we can kill everybody together.
Yeah. We can wipe them
silence. Right? And and Laufey's just like, oh, Father, you look weary.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it was just like, look, like the Laufey, like, let's end this now. He's like, your boy sought this out. It's like, yes. But it's the actions of a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Not a king.
Thor didn't like that. Thor didn't like that. But it's his father who's saying it, so he has to kind of accept it.
Like, treat them as such. We can end this now before there's further bloodshed. He's like, no, we're beyond diplomacy, our father. He'll get what he came for. War and death. And I was like, okay. And then they all get caught back up.
Mm-hmm.
The Bifrost. Well, not all, because the 6 plus Odin.
Yeah.
The Frost Giants.
The Asgardians.
Yes.
Taken back up in the Bifrost.
They go back to Asgard. And obviously Odin is still too happy with Thor.
So who was it? Was it Volstagg or was it Fandral who was injured?
I want to say it was Volstagg.
I want to say it was Volstagg also. But anyway, so he gets there and because Odin tells the warriors, Lady Sif and the other two of the Warriors 3 to get Volstagg to the healing house.
To the healing house, yeah. And Thor's like, I was just protecting my home. And Odin's like, you can't protect your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, how can he protect a kingdom?
And then we find out that the reason why Odin knows is because Loki is the one that told on Thor.
Yes.
Loki tattled.
Tattletale.
So
and and there's still Loki was watching Odin and Thor fight about this back and forth.
So before they leave the Bifrost. So Thor's trying to explain his actions to his father, but Odin's not having it.
Odin's having none of it.
Odin is having none of it.
It's like it's like
he knows that he just let his pride get in the way.
Your pride and vanity are getting in the way and not being a leader. You forgot everything I taught you about a warrior's patience. And they're like, but while you wait, the 9 realms are in danger. They laugh at us. The old ways are done. You're nothing but a boomer. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah? Well, Thor, you're nothing but a zoomer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're a vain, greedy, and cruel boy. Now Thor is like getting hurt. Like, he realizes like he's disappointed in his father.
Yeah.
But then he responds not in the best way. He just calls him, again, like I said, a boomer. You're an old man and a fool. And everyone's like, hey, I was a fool to think you were ready.
Uh-huh.
And Loki's still back there. Loki's like, hey, father, no, don't be hasty.
But Odin's not going
to have any.
He's already past that part. He's already past.
So Odin's just like,
letting Thor off.
Odin's son, you have betrayed the express command of your king. Through your arrogance and stupidity, you've opened these peaceful realms and innocent lives to destruction. You are unworthy of this realm.
That's
and
a very
your titles,
important word, unworthy.
Yes. You're unworthy of the loved ones you have betrayed. I take from you your power. And he starts ripping off his armor and his cape.
Yeah.
And everything as he's talking about this.
So basically this beam, this light surrounds Thor and is just so he starts ripping his armor off, rips his cape off, and then
it's like,
this light just starts taking
my
his
father,
chainmail type like Under Armour
and
off.
It's like, and he says, in the name of my father and his father, I, Odin, all father, to cast you out. And he gets just like force hit.
Yes.
Into the Bifrost. Right? And then Odin picks up the hammer and he starts speaking into it.
Pulls it up to his mouth like a microphone and he starts just whispering into it. He says, he who holds this hammer.
Whoever holds this hammer.
If he be worthy, shall have all the powers of Thor. Or shall possess the powers of Thor.
Right.
And then he throws it into the Bifrost.
Landing right in the desert.
Yeah.
And kind of getting up, stunned, and then getting hit by that RV.
But yeah, right after he puts this enchantment on the hammer, he throws the hammer into the Bifrost. So into the beam.
So it's also gone into the beam of the Bifrost. Right? And so, he like I said, we've seen now how the connection of that small opening prologue with this, right? And now we cut to our 3 that were in the RV getting out because they just hit a man with an RV.
And they go down and they find Chris Hemsworth lying on the ground, unconscious.
And, and he gets up like right away. And like, Natalie Portman or Jane Foster and Darcy, right? Jane's just like, get the first aid kit, right? And she's like, I hope he's not dead, right? And then he doesn't want anything to do with them. Right? He's just like worried about his hammer, and he just starts saying hammer,
Mhm.
hammer,
Yep.
hammer. And Darcy's like, yeah, you're pretty hammered, right? But he just still keeps stumbling around like he's a drunk man, right? And Eric's still back there. So, Stellan Skarsgård plays Eric, right? And he's like, I think we need to get him to the hospital, right? Before we get there, Darcy just gets a little too jumpy around
and
this guy.
she tases
and
him.
She's got a taser. And so she tases him.
Tases the god of thunder.
Eric Selvig, by the way.
Oh, and we also didn't mention before that he doesn't just have a hammer. He's also the god of thunder, and he uses his hammer to basically focus his power to cast lightning and stuff like
lightning and thunder and the such.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
And then we cut to them, and like Eric's like, next time you decide to taser somebody, make sure he's already in the car.
Yeah.
So we don't have to drag the god of thunder into
So
the
we don't
RV.
have to drag this guy who's 300 pounds of pure muscle into the back of the RV.
And he looks like you're two little scrawny ladies, and I'm an overweight, middle-aged Norwegian. Well, sweet. Anyway, Scandinavian guy.
Scandinavian, yeah. So, yeah, his name is Eric Selvig.
So they cut to the hospital, the ER, and there's like, so what's his name? And Jane's like, he said it was Thor. This is like, and relationship. Like, we've never met him today. And Darcy's like, well, she hit him with the car tonight. Like, but you tasered him. Right? But then all of a sudden, we hear like, I need some help. And like, he's woken up from being tasered, and right, they're trying to get his vitals, and they're trying to draw some blood. And, again, he got shot out from his realm.
Yep.
And landed with a thud on Earth.
Yep.
And then got tasered. He's going to be confused. Right? And so he starts fighting the hospital staff as they're just trying to triage him. Right? And then they call security, and security tases him again.
Yep.
Right as you say, you're no match for the mighty.
Yep. Then he gets tased. And so then they strap him down to the bed.
Yep. And then so, he's strapped down, and, the other three they're having a conversation. Eric's like, you don't think this is magnetic, do you? And then Jane's like, no, I think it might be an Einstein-Rosen bridge. And Darcy's like, what? And then Eric's like, I thought you were a science major. She's like, political science. Yeah, she was the only applicant.
Yeah. Yeah. Eric looks at Jane. He's like, yeah, she was the only applicant.
And so Eric just does a quick debrief for not just Darcy, but for the entire audience, in case they don't know. It's like it's a theoretical connection between two different points of space-time.
And then Eric cuts her off. He's like, it's a wormhole.
And they're showing, they have these like these readouts, and Jane's like, look at these, like trying to show Eric, like, look at these stars that I recorded in this storm. I took pictures of, like, these constellations should not be in our sky at this time of year.
No.
Right?
In fact, these constellations shouldn't even be in our sky.
Yeah.
Regardless of what time of year it is. So then she starts wondering if, maybe some of this stuff that the guy was saying is true.
Yeah, what's with this guy? What's going on with this guy? Maybe we should find out about that.
And Eric is very skeptical. He thinks he's just a crazy drunk.
We should say also, before, as they are driving off to the hospital after they got him into the van, we see another beam of light come down in the distance. and then you could see it hit the earth,
Yeah.
the earth, and
And you see this
make a
thing
big
fall out of the
impact,
sky. Yeah.
right? So that's important because obviously, it's the hammer, right? Because I went through two as we saw. So, and so they realize they need to go back to the hospital, right? As they're talking about this, because they've left after they tased him and subdued him again, right?
So they think at
But
the very
he gets up
least,
again, and
he has answers that they need.
yep. So, but what we don't, so we see the scene as they're starting to go back to the hospital. He has escaped from his restraints again, and he gets out one of the loading docks,
and runs right in front of their RV, and they hit him again.
Right in front of the car, they hit him again.
So they get him up into the RV, and they drive off.
And they decide, we should probably owe this guy breakfast.
So they take him to a little diner.
And he discovers his favorite drink. He is with Grant Heslov on this.
Loves coffee.
He's like, I want some more.
He downs his coffee. He's like, I like this drink. Another. And he slams the mug down on the ground and breaks it.
Chris Hemsworth in this scene is terrific. Because he still is acting like his Asgardian himself, but you could tell he knows he's not at home. He's in a different realm, but he's still just going to act like Thor.
Yep.
Because he doesn't have amnesia.
Nope.
He knows who he is.
Yep.
Right. And so while they're having starting this conversation, we kind of cut to a whole bunch of people that discovered in the middle of the desert, in this rock, a hammer.
Yes, in the middle of this crater.
Yep. And they keep trying to pull. Yeah, it's just, because it made this impact crater, and then it's stuck into a rock in the center of that impact crater, right? And people are just trying to just pull it out, and they can't do it. Right? And so now there's people from all around that are coming, that they've heard about this hammer being in there. They're just going to try to pull this hammer out of the ground.
Yep.
Out of this rock. And they can't do it. There are people there with grills, grilling bratwurst.
Yeah, it's basically like the Sword in the Stone.
The Sword in the Stone.
It's all these big strong men are lining up to try to lift this hammer.
See someone,
and nobody's able to.
Get a winch and put it to the back of a pickup truck. And they tell the driver to, all right, floor it. But it just tears off
the whole bed of the truck. Tears up the entire bed of the truck. And then you see the driver of the truck. He puts his head out, and it's Stan Lee. He's like, did we get it?
No, Stan. No. I'm so sorry.
No.
You're not worthy, Stan. I'm sorry.
No. So, yeah, that is Stan Lee's cameo.
Stan Lee is worthy in our hearts, though.
Yes. Yes. If anyone is worthy to lift Mjolnir, it's Stan Lee. He created Mjolnir. Well, he didn't create Mjolnir, but he created the comic version of Mjolnir.
Yes. So, but off in the distance, kind of at the top of the ridge, looking out over the crater, you got Clark Gregg. And he tells him, I think we found it.
Yep, standing outside of a black Acura.
And we go back into that cafe where all of a sudden, he's eating away and they're talking.
Mm-hmm. And Jane seems very interested in the conversation.
Yeah. And he just starts saying all these things about Asgard and Odin and Thor. And Eric's just listening to all this. He's like, I know all these stories.
I was told these stories as a child. Yeah. And then these two guys walk into the bar, or into the cafe, the diner, and they go sit up at the counter, and they're talking about this satellite that fell out of the sky. And Thor hears this, and so he gets up and he goes and asks them about this satellite. Yeah, it looks really weird. It looks like, he's like, a hammer?
I'm yeah. And so now he wants to go.
And so he asks them where it is. And they're like, It's about 50 miles due west of here. So Thor decides he's going to walk it.
And they're like, you can't walk that. And he just looks at Jane's like, hey, you've been very polite and very hospitable, right? But I need to go get my I need to go get this. I'll walk it. I can do it. And Eric's like, Eric's like tries to pull us out, like, don't have anything to do with that guy.
Yeah. Because Eric is still very, very skeptical.
Yep. But she's still going to give him a ride. Right now, here's maybe my other little complaint, potentially about.
Well, she's not going to give him a ride because he leaves. He goes and walks away.
He does leave. That's right. He walks away. That's right. So this takes place in New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we mentioned that yet.
No,
we said it was a desert earlier, but it's been established since then that this is in New Mexico, a town in New Mexico, around a small town, 25
tiny
people.
little town.
However, one of my little complaints about this, like, we could tell this was a set built for the movie.
Yes.
And there's a lot of like product placement.
Yes.
In this town.
Yes.
And it's not obviously a town of 2,500 people is not very large to begin with. So that is a small town. But even with that, like, this town is just maybe 4 blocks long and 4 blocks wide.
Yeah.
Which would not be 2,500 people. And it'd be one thing if, like, it was definitely close to another town that was larger where people might live or work, but it does not look like 2,500 people live in this town. And it's definitely too perfect in a lot of ways. So, I mean, this is where I kind of like, you can see the studio stuff kind of seeping too far into it, maybe.
Yeah.
Small little thing, not big, but it's obviously designed for a major set piece that will happen later in the movie.
Yes.
So, anyway, we cut briefly back though to Asgard, right? We haven't gone to Asgard. We haven't talked about Asgard in a while. Thor got banished. And we had the Sif and the Warriors 3, and they discuss everything that happened.
So what we had, I guess that doesn't come yet. Never mind.
So we have a scene with both Sif and the Warriors. We have a scene 2 scenes. One, Sif and the Warriors 3.
Where
we also
Volstagg is healing
with Loki and Odin. And they're back down, kind of like in that trophy room, right? And they begin to talk, and this conversation,
so
it's different
here. So there's something that we didn't mention in the battle at Jotunheim earlier.
Right,
that's very important for here. So,
that's right. Yes.
While Volstagg was fighting one of the frost giants, it grabbed his arm. And he ended up with frostbite on his arm, just like from a touch.
Yeah.
Shortly after that, one of the frost giants grabbed Loki's arm. And his arm just started to turn blue. It didn't freeze him. It didn't give him frostbite. It just started to turn blue a little bit. And then
the frost giant and Loki are kind of surprised by this.
Yeah. So, that started getting Loki thinking.
Yep.
Which then leads us to this scene. Where they're in that trophy room, and Loki's talking to Odin. And he asks Odin if the casket was all that he took all those years ago from Jotunheim.
He's like, yeah. And he wants to, like, what am I? And it's just like, you're my son.
Yeah, you're my son. And then
And he finally is like, well, in the aftermath of battle, I went to the temple and I found a baby.
a baby frost giant. He
Small.
was small.
Yeah.
Small for a frost giant.
And it was abandoned and suffering, left to die. Floppy son. Very, very Spartan.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
All right.
And so he picks up this baby. I mean, while he's describing it, it shows this flashback.
Yep.
And there's this blue baby that's crying, and he picks him up. And as he picks him up, the blue on his skin turns to a Caucasian.
Yes. And Loki says, like, well, why? You were knee deep in the open blood. Why would he take me? And I was like, you were an innocent child. But Loki's like, no, there's more. There's more, right? And this is like some of the most biggest emotion you're gonna get out of like Loki in this entire movie, right?
Yeah.
And then finally, it's like, well, I thought we could unite our kingdoms one day, bring about an alliance, bring about peace. But it doesn't matter now. We can't have peace. And Loki's like, so I'm just a stolen relic, locked up until you might have use. And I was like,
I was like, that's not true. You were my son. I raised you.
I love you. It's like, I didn't tell you because I wanted to protect you.
And
Loki's like, because I'm the monster parents tell their children about light. It's like, no. And now Loki is more, he's not upset about that he's taken. He's like,
no, now he realizes
been
why
upset that Thor is the favored son.
Yeah. And now he's realizing why he will never be the king of Asgard, because he is a frost giant.
But as he's doing this, Odin collapses.
Yeah, it's too much for Odin, and he collapses.
Yep. So I think this scene actually happens before the coffee scene. At the
it might. Either way. So
because this is where before he leaves, like he's like, oh yeah, I gotta go get my hammer. He names it, and then I love Doris. She's like, Mew Mew.
Yeah, Mew Mew. But so after Thor leaves to go find his hammer,
they go back to there's like this gas station that they have with the staging area, and there's all these black cars, and that got Agent Coulson,
mm-hmm.
his black suit is there, and they're loading all their stuff up, their computers, their boxes, their files, everything. And Jay's like, you can't do this. And they're like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm with S.H.I.E.L.D. Like we're taking all your
S.H.I.E.L.D., we're taking your research, and she's like, you can't do this.
Don't worry,
I can't just go to and so she's like, you can't take this. He's like, yes, I can. This is top
I
secret
made some of this
stuff,
myself,
and
I can't just go to the Radio Shack and get it.
Yeah, and he gives her a check. He hands her a check, and
that's right. Yeah.
What are you talking about? I can't just go buy this stuff. Can't go to Radio Shack and buy this stuff. I built most of this stuff myself. I mean, like, she's like, everything here and everything that's in this notebook, and she holds up her notebook. She's like, this is all of my research into this. And then one of the other S.H.I.E.L.D. agents comes up and takes the notebook from her hand.
And Coulson's like, don't worry, we're the good guys. And just like, thank you for cooperation.
And they leave.
And then before they do that, they take Darcy's iPod.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, I just downloaded 30 songs.
I just downloaded like 30 songs on that thing.
And they were like, okay, well, guess what? Let me take contact with one of my colleagues. He's dealt with these people before. I'll email him. Maybe he can help. And Darcy's like, well, they took your laptop too.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we cut back to Asgard, and the Warriors 3 and Sif, they want to talk with Odin. Because they want to plead with him to bring Thor back.
Yep.
But when they get to the throne room, who's on the throne? Not Odin.
Loki is on the throne.
Loki. And Loki is now in his classic green suit.
With his
and his
helmet
staff,
with the big horns.
Helmet with the horns. And they realize that they need to bow to him.
Yep.
And they want, and Sif is going to do talking because she's, she's the sensible woman. It's like, we ask that you end Thor's banishment. And Loki says something pretty sensible. He's like, my first command cannot be to undo
my father's last
kings.
command. And so he's like, I'm sorry, but Thor is still in exile.
And Vorstag's like, well, can we still reconsider? And like, Loki's like, we're done. Right? And so, we cut back to the town, and Thor goes in this pet shop. He's like, I need a horse. And he's like, we just have birds and dogs.
But I need a horse to show me the meaning of haste.
And all of a sudden, Shadowfax shows up.
And he pulls out a dictionary.
I've got a dictionary. Flips to H, H-L, H-N, H-P. Oh, H-A-S. They're haste. So, actually, like, he's like, well, give me one of those large enough to ride on. But this one, Jane's like, well, hey, you still need that left. Now she's going to help because they took all her research.
Yep.
And then they have this nice ride where they start connecting. And it becomes clear that they might, if it's not careful, they might make it meet emotional catharsis.
They might. But
they don't go there. Right? And she's just saying, like, Thor looks at her, he's like, you think I'm strange? It's like, yeah. Well, good or bad? It's like, well, I don't know yet. And Jane's like, okay. It's like, Thor's like, I can give you the answers you're really looking for. Right? Like, you stick a bridge. And she calls it the Einstein-Rosen bridge. She's like, no. It's more like a rainbow bridge.
Yep, more like a rainbow bridge.
Right? And now, we cut back to Asgard, and now Loki is talking with his mother, Frigga, played by Rene Russo. Right? And, he's not, Thor, Odin's not dead, right? But he's definitely in a coma.
Yeah.
And they kind of have him in this, like, protective,
he's sort of
kind of bed.
Yeah. Almost like a suspended animation kind of thing.
That's, I was just saying, like a suspended animation kind of pod. So, and then Frigga's like, no, your father kept the truth from you, so you would not feel different. Like, you are our son, we're family, and we must not lose hope that your father will return to us and your brother. And Loki's like, what hope is there for Thor? He's on Earth. He doesn't have his hammer. He doesn't have his powers. And then Frigga, because she's the wise lady here, the wise woman. The woman in this movie, this movie are really wise.
Yes.
The men do some stupid things.
Yes.
Darcy does some stupid things.
Yes.
But a lot of the other women in this movie are wise. Right? It's like, there's always a purpose to everything your father does. And Loki's left there stunned. It's like, this might be more complicated than I thought.
Just might be. It might be.
Right? So, I think at this point, it's obvious that Loki's intention was to try to make some of this happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that he let the frost giants in. We don't know how. And that he was unaware that he actually was a frost giant himself.
Yep.
And that his intention for all this was really just to spoil his brother's big day.
Yeah.
He did not realize the entire ripples of his consequences.
Nope.
Just like Nedry just wanted to get paid because John Hammond did not spare no expense.
Nope. He only put one IT guy in the entire park. And did not
and
pay
that one
him
IT
enough.
guy, he did not pay appropriately.
Yeah.
And so he went to a rival company.
I guess he also had Sam Jackson. So there were two IT guys, but only one of them was really in charge of the fences.
Yeah. And so Nedry thought, hey, I'm just going to get what's owed to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just going to shut down the power briefly so I can get these embryos out of here.
And get paid.
And get paid. Not realize I'm going to get eaten by a Dilophosaurus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
But yeah.
And then, so they're out there now, but Jane and Thor, they're out there, and they're looking at this crash site, or this crater site.
And S.H.I.E.L.D. has moved in, and they've created basically this lab on top of this site, on top of this crater.
They got multiple buildings in there. They're all kind of connected with the classic kind of like lab tubes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got all these lights, and there's a fenced perimeter.
And in the center of it is Mjolnir.
Yep.
Still sitting
in
the middle of the crater. Nobody's been able to lift it. And so Thor decides he's going to bust in there and get his hammer back.
Yep. He's like, once I have, I will return the items that they've stolen from your lab. Deal? And, and then Jade's like, so you think you can just go down there, grab our stuff, and walk out? I think, no, I'm going to fly out.
Once I get my hammer, I'll be able to fly out. And so he busts in there. He starts beating everybody up that gets in his way.
Yep.
He's just mowing everybody down.
And we have a little security lab. They're seeing this happen, and they're talking to other people to try to bring in the reinforcements.
Mm-hmm.
But he is just taking everybody out.
And so then we get Coulson, and he's aware of the situation. So he calls out, he says he wants a sniper up high on a perch. Yep. Someone with a rifle. And we see this guy running. We see Jeremy Renner running over.
Yep.
Like, and he starts to reach for a rifle.
Where did Jeremy Renner come from?
Yeah. He starts to reach for a rifle, but then he stops, and he reaches just above it and grabs a bow.
Yep. And you're thinking, oh, we thought he was going to go for some bomb diffusion kit.
Nope. No,
this is not the Hurt Locker.
Nope.
And so, but then we get, we cut back to Jane, right? And she calls Eric, and he goes to his voicemail. And it's like, hey, Eric, the thing you told me not to do? Well, I kind of did it. Right? And now it started raining. Right? And Jeremy Renner, he gets to his perch. Right? And he's got his view, he's got his eye fixed on where his target's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey, you got to give me the signal. Like, the longer you wait, the more I root for this guy.
Yep.
Right? And Coulson's like, wait. Right? Because now Thor has reached the center of the tent.
Well, he's about to reach the center, and this big guard comes in.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And actually puts up a good fight against Thor.
Yeah, someone actually puts up a good fight against him.
But Thor ends up beating him, and he goes down to he sees the hammer, and he goes down to it. And, Jeremy Renner's sitting up in the crane, and he's asking, he's like, give me the signal. I'm waiting for your signal. And Coulson's like, hold on, I want to see this. And Thor walks up.
I kind of like how they play that a little bit,
yeah,
right? they kind of put Coulson in like a semi-negative light, but then he realized like, yeah, he does mean well in this,
Mhm.
and like,
So,
I like that how he can't contain himself. Like
Yeah.
he needs to see if this can actually happen.
and it's pouring. It's pouring rain.
Yeah,
so
it
it's
is
all
now
muddy.
a total downpour.
Thor
It's
was
muddy.
just fighting with this guy, rolling around in the mud.
His luscious lettuce is just completely soaked, and he's just flinging it.
Yep. He's
All
flinging
of a
it Nick
sudden,
Cage
all the
style.
men in the audience are getting a little tingle in their chest,
Yep.
and like, oh, that's a
Then
man crush on Chris Hemsworth I have.
This little breeze comes in and hits his luscious locks, and blows his hair like Nick Cage and Con Air.
And then he
And
reaches
he
down.
walks up to that hammer, and the music swells. And he triumphantly reaches down and grabs that hammer, grabs the handle of it, and pulls.
He starts to pull,
and
he
nothing
farts.
happens. Except he farts.
No, nothing happens at all.
Nothing happens. The hammer stays
farts,
on the
it's
ground.
silent but deadly.
Yeah, the hammer stays on the ground. So he repositions his grip and he pulls as hard as he can, and he cannot lift this hammer.
He can't do it. And
He's not worthy.
Coulson's sad. Jeremy Renner's sad. Jane is sad.
And so
And now they don't even need to shoot them. They just bring everybody in and take him.
Mission was to get his hammer, and now he can't even do that. He's not worthy of his own hammer.
He's not worthy of his hammer. He's not worthy.
And so he drops to his knees and
he just
lets
screams,
them take
Father!
him. He lets S.H.I.E.L.D. take him.
And we don't really cut to his father. We cut to Helmdale.
Yeah.
And he's staring. He's still there on that rainbow bridge. He's holding his sword like the Oscar statue. Right? And we just kind of cut in on his pupil. And you can see he is just staring straight to Earth.
He's watching all this happen.
He's watching all this happen. And he's sad because Thor's his friend.
Yep.
And he does not
sad
like to
because
see his
Thor's his
friend be at odds with his father, Odin.
Yep.
And he wants peace for this realm of Asgard.
Mm-hmm.
And he realizes that until Thor can realize who he is, Asgard cannot know peace.
Yep. So Thor is taken in for questioning. And meanwhile, Thor's taken in for questioning, and it cuts to Eric, who is at a bookstore or a library, one of the two.
Yeah.
And he finds this children's book about Norse mythology.
Yep. And he almost just sees it accidentally. Like he's just kind of like thumbing through different things, and he sees like, oh,
And so he takes that back to Jane and Darcy.
It's like, yeah, these are all myths.
And he's talking about this.
And then
all of this.
Darcy's like, go ahead.
Yeah, he's like, all of this is what Thor's talking about. And
like, he's just a deranged guy that read all this and thinks it's real.
Yeah, and Darcy's like, where did you find all this? It's like in a children's book. And he's flipping through, and there's a page with Mjolnir, and Darcy's like, Mew Mew.
And then she's like, well, the ancient people, like, they might have just saw them and mistook them for gods.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then,
so at this point, Jane is more or less convinced that Thor is who he says he is.
Yeah. And Eric's just like,
Eric is still skeptical.
He's like, well, no, like everything. Oh no, all of it was fiction before it becomes science fact.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he doesn't want to agree, but he's reluctantly kind of go along with all this.
So,
right,
Thor is being questioned by Coulson,
and
he's not telling them what they want to know. And like he's. They're not satisfied with his answers to their questions. And so Coulson decides he's going to take a break. So he leaves the room.
And then
Loki
out of nowhere,
shows up.
Loki shows up, and he is in a nice jacket and
with a scarf
suit.
and
Yeah, he's got a tie, he's got the scarf, right? Which I don't get why he's got to dress like this when he can kind of disguise himself.
Well, because he's got to be dressed like a human. Otherwise, he's going to draw too much attention to himself.
He can disguise himself into the humans, though.
Yeah. But he starts talking to Thor. And, Thor asks him if he can please come back to Asgard. And Loki's like, I'm sorry, you can't. You have to stay in exile. And
can you speak with
he's
Father?
like, well, can you speak with Father? And
Loki lies.
Father's dead. Your exile was too much for him. And he died.
And Mother is still too grieved right now. And then he leaves. And Thor's he's at a loss for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And while Loki's leaving, he stops by.
He stops by the hammer, and he reaches down and he grabs it and he tries to pick it up, but it doesn't budge.
No. Not worthy.
He's like, ah, shucks.
That's exactly what he was like. Ah, shucks.
So then he goes back to Asgard. And when he's walking past Heimdall, he stops and he tells Heimdall, do not let anyone through here without my say-so.
Funny thing here, though, is that this is not the next scene. This is somewhere later in it. It's that we will get a scene where he goes back and visits the Frost Giants.
Yep.
And he's like, hey, I'll let you in and kill my father.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to take Asgard or stuff, Asgard, but you'll have your revenge. No, you can get what you want, and I'm not going to stop you as you mess with the other realms.
I will conceal you just like I concealed your buddies to get in.
We got a deal. Well, okay. Before you take the deal, I do have door number 2. You want to see what's behind door number 2? Now you can get in and kill my father, and then I'll allow you to destroy all the other realms, or you can take door number 2. Which one is it?
Well, I mean, he hasn't said what's behind door number 2 yet.
It takes door number 2
is even better. What if door number 2 has a jet ski?
It could have a jet ski. It might have a jet ski, and he'll just drive it through the bifrost. He'll just drive it through the frost of the Jotunheim, right? He's like, woohoo! He picks door number 2, and it's just a year supply of potatoes.
Wow!
And it's like, what am I going to do with a year supply of potatoes?
I'm not Irish.
He's a frost giant.
So
anyway, that scene does happen later, but we're back on Earth, and Eric is convinced. He's convinced the government people in Coulson, like, hey, no, he's just a colleague of mine, right? Like, he got drunk last night. He didn't know what he was saying. Like, we can let him go, right?
So they leave him.
They reluctantly agree, but Coulson's like, you got to tell him. Right?
So Thor
and they call him
Eric.
Donald Blake, by the way.
Yes, Donald Blake, which is the name of it's the name of Jane's ex-boyfriend, who was a doctor, an MD.
Yes. And there's a scene later in the movie after this where she gives him a T-shirt that still has "Hello, my name is." That was
earlier in the movie. That was because he's wearing that T-shirt. Because she took the name tag off of it.
That's right. Because I do have it. I do have this T-shirt.
Yes, you do. You do have that T-shirt.
I actually had
You received it
so I
at San Diego Comic-Con.
so I went skydiving about a year after that, 2 years after that, and I'm waiting on the ground um while other groups are going through, and there's this one guy he was probably in his 50s at the time. He's coming down, and he faints.
Hmm.
Right? Because this is all people that well, novice skydivers, right? So
Yeah.
we got skydive with the pro, and he's attached to the guy, and he clearly passed out somewhere from the plane to the ground. And I'm wearing this shirt that says Donald Blake MD on it. People are like, is it? You're a doctor or a nurse? I'm like, I'm looking at my shirt that says
Cover up
MD on
the
it.
fake name tag on your shirt.
Anyway, so anyway,
Yeah, because you
So-
got that shirt from, didn't you go to the Thor panel?
I went to the Thor panel.
Yeah,
Yes,
at Comic-Con, and
I did.
they handed them out.
Anyway, so that's actually I'm glad you brought.
I
I'm glad you
would
brought
have
that
been
up, 'cause
at
that's a
that
nice
panel
little
with you
tidbit
had I
that
been able to go.
I went to
but-
the Thor panel at Comic Con.
But yeah, I had to miss
So.
that Comic-Con for reasons I won't go into right now.
Yeah. Anyway,
But
so Eric and Thor decide to go drinking together.
mm-hmm. So they're at a bar, and Eric is talking to Thor, and he's like, I don't know if you are who you say you are. I'm not sure. I'm still skeptical. I'm not going to say either way that you are or you aren't who you say you are. The only thing that I'm concerned about is Jane.
He cares about Jane.
And so I need you to promise me that I don't want any harm to come to her. So I need you to promise me that you will leave tonight and you will never see her again. And Thor, he doesn't want anything to happen to Jane. He understands where Eric's coming from with this. And throughout the movie, especially after the whole Mjolnir incident in the crater, you see that Thor is beginning to soften up a little bit from how he was at the beginning of the movie.
Well, and one of the things he
not
says
as arrogant. He's not as
Eric, in this scene, like, I really don't know who I am anymore. Right? It's like I had everything wrong and all backwards, right? It's like he's like, yeah, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. And Eric's saying like, he says like, yeah, well, I was colleagues with Jane's father. We taught at the same university together, right?
Yeah, so he basically helped raise her.
And finally he's like, I swear I mean her no harm. And that is good enough for Eric. He's like, all right, that's good. In that case, I'll buy another round. You leave town tonight. It's like 2 Boilermakers.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So
and they have the Boilermakers.
And then the next scene, it cuts to Jane and Darcy, and Thor is carrying Eric back to them. Eric is drunk off his ass.
Yep. Thor, he's still Thor. He knows how to drink. He did not get that taken away.
No. So, they help get Eric into bed.
I love Jane's like, what happened? It's like, well, we drank, we fought, He made his ancestors proud.
His ancestors proud. I love that. And then as Thor is carrying Eric to his bed, as he's laying him down in bed, then Eric looks at Thor and he's like, I don't know if you really are the god of thunder, but you should be.
I love how he says he puts it down on the bed. I love Stellan Skarsgård's smile as he's getting laid on the bed.
Yes. Stellan Skarsgård is fantastic in this scene.
And so they put good old drunk Stellan Skarsgård to bed, sleep it off, and then they decide they're going to leave the trailer. And this is Jane and Thor sitting in these little lawn chairs outside the trailer, looking up at the night sky, New Mexico, with the stars. Right?
And Thor starts describing the 9 realms to her. So he, there's a pad of paper and he starts drawing, these.
Because he wants to convince her, like, she is still discouraged that she does not have any of the research. He was able to get one small notebook that she had.
Yeah. So we didn't mention that when Selvig was able to get Thor released from S.H.I.E.L.D., from the lab, as they were walking by one of the tables, Thor saw her notebook and he grabbed it.
Yep.
And so when he brought it back to her, he, apologized that he couldn't get the rest of it.
That wasn't enough. It's like, no, this is
all I could grab on the way out. And she's like, no, this is brilliant. This is all my research.
And he's like, and he just tells her, you shouldn't give up. Like, you're on the right track. You're close to getting what you need. Right? And he just says, like, yeah, no, what you call magic and science are really all.
I come from a place.
The ancestors called it magic.
Yeah.
Our place.
Yeah, I come from a place where they're one and the same. And then he starts telling her about Asgard.
Explains the 9 realms and Asgard and how his father Odin explained it to him.
And so he draws this picture of Yggdrasil, the world tree.
Yep.
That basically it contains all 9 realms.
And he's like, look at these images that came, that come from your Hubble telescope.
Your Hubble telescope? It's like Hubble telescope.
Right. And so then they end their nice little, conversation there, and we cut back to Asgard. And now Fandrel's like, you know what? I'm not taking kindly to that guy Loki on that throne.
Nope. We have got to go and get Thor back. And Volstagg, of course, is all for it. I like how
Sif is still like, hey, wait, let's think about this.
Sif is still trying to be reasonable. But the Warriors 3 are all for it.
And then Fandrel's like, well, this is treason. Yeah, and just remember this. And Vol says, it's also suicide. And Sif is like, well, Thor would do the same for us, wouldn't he? Mm-hmm. And what if Helmdall's watching? And his guard comes in. And it's like, Helmdall demands your presence.
Yeah, Helmdall demands your presence. And Volstagg's like, oh, shit.
And then they get there, and Helm's like, you would defy the commands of Loki?
You would defy the commands of Loki.
And break every oath you have taken as warriors and commit treason to bring Thor back. And Sif's like, yes.
He's like, okay, good. And he steps aside. He's like, good. He steps aside and lets them through. He's like, but he's like, I cannot activate the Bifrost.
So I'm gonna go take a poop.
So yeah,
and just
yeah. So he's like, I cannot activate the Bifrost. So I'm just gonna walk over here. And as he turns to walk away, he drops his sword because the sword is basically the key that operates the Bifrost.
Yes.
And so he just drops his sword on the Rainbow Bridge and walks away. And so they, next thing you know,
the
Bifrost
Shield's getting
shoots
these
the
massive
beam down.
energy readings.
They're getting massive energy
that?
readings, and we see the beam come down. And then when it disappears, Lady Sif and the Warriors 3 are standing on Earth in New Mexico.
And they start walking into town. And this scene is almost like Superman 2, except they mean they're more well-intentioned.
Yes. Very much so. But I love it. They're walking. This woman dressed in armor. There's a guy dressed like a samurai, a guy like a dwarf, and another guy dressed like a pirate, like Robin Hood type, like a swashbuckler. And they were just walking down the street, and there's these two snipers up on the roof, these two shield snipers up on the roof of one of the buildings. And
they're trying to explain it to Coulson.
Like, is there a Renaissance fair in town? Like, I don't know. And Coulson, like, what's going on? And like, well, we have Xena and Jackie Chan. And
so
then
continue on town, and then we have a scene with Eric, Darcy, and Jane, and they're talking the little gas station lab that they have, and
Thor's there.
And, yep, that's it. Thor's there,
and they look over, and Volstagg is trying to look in through the glass door. He's
like, "Hey!"
He's knocking on the door. He's like, "Hey, Thor!" So Thor comes out and he greets his friends.
Everybody's happy,
and he's like, "What are you doing here? Why are you here?" They're like, "We're here to bring you home." He's like, "But I can't go home. You know, you shouldn't have come."
Dad, he forbade it. They're like, "Your father lives."
And then Thor's like, "Oh, Loki, you little rascal. You lied to me."
Right? And then so Loki has discovered this betrayal. Right? And so he goes down and he now communicates with Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're speaking with S.H.I.E.L.D. And they're like, "Oh, we discovered the disturbance." So we cut to Coulson, and you get about 6 or 7 S.H.I.E.L.D. vehicles in middle of the desert. They said about 15 miles, southwest of town, something like that. And it's just, again, the Destroyer, which is this massive suit of armor, just standing there. And you have Loki staring, also kind of cutting in between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And Coulson's like, I don't think that's one of Stark's.
Yeah, I don't think that's one of Stark's. I mean, he's like, that guy never tells me anything.
That's exactly. I don't think it's one of Stark's, but that guy never tells me anything.
So the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, go up and they're confronting it, and then it just shoots this beam out of its face. It takes its face off and shoots a beam of fire at them.
And it just destroys all the vehicles.
Yeah.
And it makes its way to town. As the Sif and the Warriors 3, and then Thor and everybody else is discussing things. And they see it start to come into town.
Start coming to town. So Lady Sif and the Warriors 3,
Jane,
of course,
have to
jump
leave.
into action. Yeah, he tells Jane to leave. And Lady Sif and the Warriors 3 go to face the Destroyer. And they have, course...
And Volstagg's like, "Oh, Thor's going to fight with us." Like, "No, I can't
like,
right now.
I can't fight right now.
I'm just a man. I can help get
all
these other people
out.
to safety, though."
So Thor and Jane and Eric and Darcy are trying to evacuate the town.
Yep.
They're trying to
And
help
then-
load people up into trucks and so they can drive off.
They don't want to leave. They don't want to leave Thor alone though. Like it's like we're gonna stay. Like it's like okay, well we need time. This calls distractions, right? While we get everybody else out, and so the Sif and the Warriors say, "All right, you have it."
Yep. So they go to distract the destroyer so that Thor and everybody else can get everybody out.
Evacuate people, but the destroyer he is just it's just destroying buildings, and cars in this town. Like again, it's a small town. It's just getting decimated.
Yeah, and the Warriors 3 and Lady Sif, they get taken down pretty quickly. They didn't mean they aren't killed or anything, but they get.
I mean, they're strong warriors.
They get somewhat incapacitated pretty quickly.
But
this is a giant robot that shoots fire out of its face. So that was built by the Asgardians. So,
and then finally he's able. They're all kind of retreated off. They've gotten, and now Thor now is looking at them. It's like, all right. Thor gets an idea finally. It's like get them steps, get away. And Thor steps, he just goes out in the middle of the street. And everyone's like, what's Thor doing?
And he just walks out in the middle of the street in slow motion, the wind blowing his luscious locks again.
It's just, there it is. Reminiscent of Nicolas Cage once again.
And he walks right up to the destroyer. And
he's
it
like,
stops right in front of him, and he starts talking to it. He starts talking to
whatever
Loki
I did to you, however I wronged you, whatever I've done to lead you to this thing right here, right?
I am sorry.
Truly,
I am
sorry.
Truly sorry.
But these people are innocent.
These people are
taking
innocent.
their lives gains you nothing. So take mine and end this.
And
he's no longer concerned about his selfish ambition.
Nope, he's no longer concerned about his selfish ambition. And so it looks as though the destroyer, it starts to turn around. Looks like it's going to walk back away.
We're seeing, as he's talking about this, like
and you see Loki
back to Loki's face.
And
hearing
Loki,
this.
and he's got this look on his face.
Like he's actually
contemplating
being
something.
reached by what Thor is saying to him.
Yeah. And so the destroyer starts to turn around, and then it just swings its hand and just backhands Thor, sends him flying across the town.
And Jane's like, no.
And so Thor is laying on the ground, dying.
The destroyer, it just walks away.
Yeah.
He is done.
So after
he's not going to
destroyer
destroy the rest of the town,
Thor, then he walks away.
He
bitch slapped Thor and walks away. And Thor's laying on the ground all bloody, basically dying. And
Jane comes over because she has felt something towards him.
Yes.
And he just looks her in the eyes like, it's over.
It's over. You're safe. And Selvig sees what Thor's just done for Jane.
And he's moved. Well, if my name is
not just for Jane,
Skarsgård,
but for all of them.
Yes.
And he's moved.
But we cut back to this tent with these agents. And these energy levels all of a sudden just start spiking. It's going up and down and right. But everyone's still sad that Thor has died. He's been with them not even, barely 24 hours, maybe 36 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And they felt this connection to him.
Yep.
And we got back though again to the shield tent, and they're getting these huge readings.
Yep.
Coming from that hammer. And
then
all
of a sudden,
cut back to Anthony Hopkins. Well, we forgot. So when this happens, after Thor gets hit by the destroyer, we cut to.
Oh yes, we cut to Anthony Hopkins,
Odin, and Anthony Hopkins, and this tear
in his bed, like in his coma, and this single tear falls from his eye.
Yes,
goes down his cheek.
But so. As we're starting to see the spiking, we cut back to Odin, back to that scene where he's whispering and to the hammer. It's like whoever holds his hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the powers of Thor. And all of a sudden, we cut to the rock, that crater.
We get to the crater, and the hammer shoots straight up into the air.
Yeah.
Like a rocket. And it just shoots straight up in the air.
It makes a beeline.
It flies up, and you see it breaks the sound barrier.
Yes.
And it flies straight into Thor's outstretched hand.
Yep.
And as soon as it hits his hand, this bolt of lightning shoots down from the sky.
He's got his cape.
And Thor has his cape, his armor again. All of that back again.
He's still got his luscious locks and lettuce is flowing in the winds.
Yep. And he's not all bloody anymore.
No. He died the hero's death.
Yeah.
The hero's journey. The hero has to die and rise again.
Yep. Like a phoenix. And so he walks right up to that destroyer. And he calls out to Loki. And the destroyer stops and turns. And it's about to blast him. You know, it takes its face off. And it's about to blast him.
That's the exact thought I had during the movie. Like, we even get this talk about the destroyer getting its face taken
off.
So
you see the fire welling up inside it. It's about to blast him with his face flame. And his face beam. And Thor just throws his hammer. Throws Mjolnir. And it goes right into that faceless destroyer. Knocks it off its feet.
And so he's won. Thor is won. He gets back down. He walks the streets, and Natalie Portman's like, oh.
It's like, whoa. Is this how you always dress?
This is how you always look?
Like, more or less.
A hammer in your pocket? Are you just happy to see me? That's boom.
Yeah, he's like, she's like, is this how you always look? And he's like, more or less. And she's like, it's a good look. So.
And there was like, well, we gotta get to the Bifrost site. I love how he's like, I must have words with my brother.
Yes, I must have words with my brother.
But then before he does that, Cole's like, excuse me, Donald, I don't think you've been completely honest with me. I love the response. Like, know this, son of Cole.
Yes, know this, son of Cole. Right now, we are allies. You are under my protection. On one condition. You give Jane her stuff back. You give Jane all of her stuff back. And he's like, oh, of course she can have her equipment back.
She's going to need it for her research.
And so Thor and Jane and Eric and Darcy and Lady Sif and the Warriors 3, they go to the Bifrost site where Lady Sif and the Warriors 3 had come in before. And, you know, anytime that the Bifrost comes in, then it leaves these Nordic sigils on the ground. This, like, Nordic pattern. And so, you know, Thor goes and stands in the middle of that. And he calls for Heimdall.
But Heimdall's not answering.
Heimdall's not answering.
Loki froze Heimdall earlier.
Because Loki, he came because he learned that Heimdall had let the Lady Sif and the Warriors 3 through. And so he used that casket to freeze Heimdall. Because Loki, he had a plan. Right? We mentioned earlier that he went to meet with Laufey and the Frost Giants. So he was going to conceal them so that they could get past Heimdall and get the casket back. And so when they did that, Loki double-crossed them.
Mm-hmm.
And he killed them. And when he had Laufey on the ground, Laufey knew who Loki was.
Yes.
Laufey knew that Loki was his son, and that Odin had taken him when he was a baby. And so when he's like, "You're my son," and then Loki's like, "No, I am Odin's son. I'm the son of Odin," and he kills Laufey.
Yep. Before Laufey can kill Odin.
Mm-hmm. So then, before Laufey can kill Odin, that's right, because Laufey went into Odin's
right
chamber
in the room.
Yeah.
The chamber, yes.
And so then Loki went, he took the casket and he used it to freeze Heimdall so that Loki could use the Bifrost to destroy Jotunheim, because the Bifrost is so powerful that if you leave it on, it's fine for, quick, beaming people to different realms.
Yes.
But if you leave it turned on a particular realm,
I mean, that's got to be a massive level of energy.
It acts like the Death Star, and it will eventually tear that realm apart. It'll tear that planet apart. So he uses the Bifrost he fires it at Jotunheim, and he just leaves it on. And so we get, frost giants running, trying to get out of the way while things are crumbling. All these mountains are crumbling. Yeah, and there's that. No, that doesn't happen just yet. Because when Heimdall's frozen, because Heimdall's frozen while Loki is taking care of Laufey.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. While Laufey and the Frost Giants are trying to kill Odin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while they're doing
but
that,
then he's able to he bursts himself out of his frozen state
because he can hear Thor calling for him and
reconnect the Bifrost to Earth and beam back Thor, Sif, and the Warriors 3.
Meanwhile, before they go, then Thor tells Jane that he will return. Yes. And he will be back. And
I will return. I will be back for you.
Yeah, so they get beamed back to Asgard, and they go straight for Loki.
Yeah, they go. Yep. And this is right after Loki has killed Laufey, right?
Or is this or are they fighting? Yeah, they're fighting frost giants.
Yes,
they got to get through the frost giants before they get to Loki. And
but they get through some of the frost giants, and they reconnect with Loki. At least Thor reconnects with Loki.
Well, Thor reconnects with Loki back on the Rainbow Road because Loki has
they did it I thought they were able to do it back in Odin's room because Frigga is there.
Yes, you're right.
Because Frigga sees her. That's why Frigga sees her. Loki kill Laufey. He's like, oh, "You saved him." Loki's like, "I swear to you, mother, they will pay for what they've done today." And that's when Thor comes in.
He says, "No, brother, we have to be merciful."
And Frigga's like, "Thor, I knew you." It's like, "Thor, I need you to return."
I knew you'd defy your exile and come back.
And then Thor's like, "Hey, Loki, tell Mom.
Tell Mom what you did. If you don't tell her, I will." You're not the only one who can tattle.
Like, yeah. He's sent the destroyer to kill me and my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to tell their mothers too.
Yep.
You just pissed off 5 mothers.
They're going to get a spanking. Loki's going to get a spanking. And so they, and
that's when Loki's like, "Well, it's good to have you back, but I got to go,
I got to go take care of some stuff." So Loki goes back to the Bifrost and he sets it to destroy Jotunheim.
Yeah.
And so this is when we get all the frost giants on Jotunheim running away from the crumbling mountains and whatnot.
Yeah, and then Thor and Loki, they're back at the Rainbow Bridge talking about this. Thor's like, what have you done, brother? It's like, I'm just trying to prove to Dad I'm a worthy son.
Mm-hmm.
When he wakes, I will have saved his life and destroyed
his enemies.
Giants. His enemies. Something that you never could do. And he's going to be like, Loki's my favorite son now. And Thor's like, you can't commit genocide. Loki's like, what's your new love? It's like, why do you love the frost giants? You could have killed all of them with your bare hands. Thor's like, I've changed. It's like, oh, that woman made you soft.
Made you soft. And
Thor's like, I'm not going to fight you, brother. And Loki's like, I'm not your brother. Never was.
It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, I'm adopted.
Thor's like, I do.
So Thor Thor's trying to go and stop the Bifrost, right?
And Loki is not having it.
No, Loki's not having it. So he's trying to get in Thor's way, and Thor knocks him to the ground. And
I love this. I love this.
He just very gently lays his hammer on Loki's chest.
And Loki's like, he's trying.
Loki can't get up.
He can lift his head.
Yeah,
that's it.
But he can't get up. He can't lift the hammer. He can't move it off of himself because he's not worthy.
He can move his arms. He can move his arms.
He can move his arms, but he can't move the hammer off himself. He grabs the hammer. He's trying to lift it up, but he can't.
He's like a turtle that's been turned over on its shell.
Yes, exactly. So Thor just leaves the hammer on Loki's chest and makes his way back over to the Bifrost. But because it's been on for so long, all this energy is surrounding it like a force field. And he can't get through it. He can't get through it to stop it. So
he realizes he really only has one option here.
Yeah. So he turns around, walks back over to Loki, picks up his hammer, and then he just starts beating the ground with it, beating the Rainbow Road with it.
And then he stops. He's like, sorry, Jane.
Yes, he's like, I'm sorry, Jane. And he hits it one more time.
What he needs to do. He hits it one more time.
And the Rainbow Bridge shatters. Right there. The Bifrost goes falling into the netherworld of space.
Asgard in space, yeah.
Because the Bifrost is their only connection to the other realms. So without the Bifrost, he can't go back to Earth and see. He can't go back to Midgard and see Jane. So the explosion that happens sends Thor and Loki flying. They go tumbling
off the
over
bridge.
The side of the Rainbow Bridge. And Loki has Loki has Odin's scepter.
Yes.
And so Thor grabs that. And so he's holding on to Loki with the scepter.
He's holding on to the bridge with one hand, the scepter with the other.
Well, no, Thor, he starts to fall over too. So he's going head first.
Yes.
Loki is holding on to one end of the scepter. Thor's holding on to the other end. And as Thor goes tumbling over the side, we see Odin. He's awake now. And he shows up and he grabs Thor's ankle. And he's standing on the Rainbow Bridge and he's holding on to Thor's ankle. Yes. And he's trying to pull his sons up. And
he's trying to save both of them. He wants to save both.
And so Loki, he's like, Father, I tried to do what you couldn't. I tried to destroy, Jotunheim. And Odin is like, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I was trying to find peace with them. And then Loki realizes that he's never going to be the son that his father hoped he would be.
Because he doesn't want peace. He just wants to fool, manipulate, and cause pain.
So Loki lets go of the scepter.
And Thor's like, no, Loki,
Thor's like,
no. And then we see
Loki drifts off into space. He falls.
Passes Allison duty.
And the Grail.
And as they both just fall into
the abyss.
Deep abyss. There's probably a few of the people from Temple of Doom that go flying off the carts. Is there anything
Probably.
Because that's
Some
deep in the world, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Not Mola Ram. He's got eaten by alligators.
Yeah. That were dancing on his corpse. So. Then we're back to the throne room in Asgard. And Odin is not passing the crown on to Thor. He is continuing to be king.
Yep. Wise choice for right now.
He is commending his son for changing his ways and, defeating the frost giants who were coming to kill him.
It's almost like it was just his plan the entire point. Like, he was never actually the crown earlier in the movie.
No.
He knew Loki was going to do some dumb shit.
But yeah, so he basically commends him for, getting rid of his douchebaggery.
Yeah, he was a good son earlier. He meant well, but he was hot-headed and a bit of a douchebag.
Yeah.
He learned his lesson.
Yeah. So during the celebration, then we cut to. So after the celebration, then Thor goes out to talk to Heimdall, and Heimdall's just standing at the edge of the Rainbow Bridge, the broken edge. Because he can't go to the Bifrost because the Bifrost isn't there anymore.
They don't have the Bifrost anymore.
So Thor goes and he's talking to Heimdall, and he's like, "Can you see her?" And he says, "Yes."
Yeah.
She searches for you. And then it cuts to Jane and Selvig and Darcy. And they're scurrying around, trying to find these readings to try to locate Asgard, to try to find Thor.
Yep.
And so as Thor and Heimdall are standing at the edge of the Rainbow Bridge, Heimdall's telling her that you're telling Thor that Jane is searching for him, and that someday, they hope to be together again. And then the credits start to roll.
Yep, as Jane smiles.
Seems
Seems like she has made some type of discovery that will help.
Seems like she's made
in the next step in the progress. And then the credits roll.
Yep.
And you get typical swelling Marvel music that would be kind of, very similar to what kind of would become common for Marvel credits. Right?
Yep.
But then, we don't have a mid-credit sequence.
No, we do not have a mid-credit sequence. This was still the early stages of the MCU where there weren't
had to
really
wait
any mid-credit
the entire
sequence,
credits.
There were
to get
post-credits. So we get to the post-credit scene.
We cut to this this basement, deep down.
And we see Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury.
Nick Fury is showing up. we have waited this long to utter the name Samuel L. Jackson.
And he's talking to someone. And we see that the person he's talking to is Eric Selvig.
Is Eric Selvig. He's like, we have this thing.
We need you to give us answers. We need you to study it and give us some answers. And then we look, it shows he's standing next to some glass. And we see in the glass a reflection.
And so, well, Eric's like, oh, well, that sounds good. And then we see the reflection, and we see Loki.
And he's saying the same words that Selvig is saying before Selvig says them.
Yes. And we cut to black. Mm-hmm. With Loki having a smile on his face.
We cut to black with Loki with a smile on his face. Then it comes up, Thor will return in the Avengers.
And that is Thor.
That is Thor.
Fun movie. Very Shakespearean in a lot of ways, as we talked about.
Very fun. Very... I don't know why I keep forgetting how much I actually like this movie.
This is a very easy one to come back to because it is a lot of fun and it's good. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
It's not long. It's breezy. It does what it wants. It does what it sets out to do. It's always enjoyable.
Yeah.
It is very good. It is a solid summer, aside from being part of the MCU. It is just a solid, fun summer blockbuster movie.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And that's one of the nice things about this. You don't need to be connected in with the entire thing. If you just watch it by yourself, and like with the intention, like I don't need to see. I'm not interested in the rest of the MCU. I'm just going to sit down and watch this movie.
It's an excellent standalone movie.
You would watch it. Yeah, it would stand alone just fine. And yeah, and again, it made a star out of Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's part of Natalie Portman's career and Stellan Skarsgård's career. Kind of a nice end of the career movie for Anthony Hopkins, right? Kind of brought Rene Russo back towards something.
Yep.
There's a lot to commend to this movie. And it's it's fun. It's funny. There's some good action set pieces to it. It's what you think about for a good summer movie.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect summer. It's not a perfect movie, but it's a fun summer movie.
Yeah. It's extremely fun.
So I enjoy coming back to it whenever I do.
As do I. So,
and all this will be important when we, if we do cover other summer movies. I mean, other
MCU movies.
MCU movies.
I'm sure we will be covering some more MCU movies as time goes by. But
yeah, again, as a summer movie itself, it is a fun movie. So.
Yep. So, if you enjoy what you're hearing, then go ahead and check us out on our social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram and Threads. That is Robbie and Tony's Cinematic Adventure. The and is spelled out, A-N-D. It's not an ampersand like the name of the podcast. We're also on X or Twitter. That is R&T Cinematic. And then you can also check out our Letterboxd. So you can see some reviews that we've done on various movies. Some we've done on the podcast, some we haven't done, some we will do, some we won't do. That is Cine Adventure or Cine Adventure, C-I-N-E Adventure. And also you can send us an email at robandtonycinematicadventure@gmail.com. Once again, the and is spelled out, A-N-D. It's not an ampersand like the name of the podcast. But yeah, let us know what you thought of Thor. Is it your favorite MCU movie? Is it your least favorite MCU movie? You love it? Do you hate it? What are your thoughts on it? We want to hear from you. And yeah, go to our social media, give us a like and a follow. Go to your favorite podcast app, wherever you're listening to us. Hit that subscribe button. Give us a good rating, a good review. That's how we move up in the rankings and the search and the recommendations, all that stuff. Because we want to be able to find as many people as we can to share our discussions with about movies.
Yes.
Which leads us to next time. We're going to continue our summer blockbuster series. Because we are in it now. We are
now really in the summer.
Yeah, we are in to this series.
We've had 4 movies. We've done 4 movies already. We've done 4 movies.
We have.
Right? We did Top Gun. We did True Lies. We did Scary Movie. We did Thor.
Yep.
I think it's ready to do a really huge, monumental type summer movie. Because as much as Thor was a really good movie, and Scary Movie was a nice summer movie, and True Lies were summer hits. I think we need to get to
a huge hit. And that huge hit that we're going to talk about next is Will Smith's follow-up to Independence Day. Came out the following year, back when Will Smith owned the 4th of July weekend.
Owned the summer, and specifically, like you said, the 4th of July.
So we are going to talk about the mega hit Men in Black.
Men in Black. I've been wanting to do this one
for a
summer series for a while.
I have too.
It has actually been a while since I've seen this. So I'm excited to watch it again. That's part of it. But I think it's perfectly suited for this podcast.
I do too. So, all that said, join us next time for Men in Black.